What's going on, everybody? I'm Terrence, and this is Bank Shipping. All right, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day so far. If you ain't up, go ahead and get up and start that grind. We are here at the Port of Baltimore. Booked this load yesterday. Was one crate of machine parts going over to Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. A little short run. It's less than 100 miles. I think it might be right at 100 miles. So a little short, easy run. Was paying pretty good. And then the lady called me back and said, hey, we got another crate of machine parts that's picking up in the same place, going to the same place. Do you want it? And I said, sure, because I still had plenty of room on the trailer, so I took it. So, it ended up being 2 good payments, for 2 good rates for picking up in the same spot and dropping off in the same spot. But then I get to the Port of Baltimore, and according to my paperwork, I'm supposed to go to one terminal. So I go over to that terminal. They tell me it's at another terminal. So I go over to that terminal, and when I speak to the guy at that terminal, he tells me that a different terminal, so now a third terminal, actually picked those up and took them over to their terminal last week. So I go over to the third terminal where they tell me that they're at, and the third terminal has no idea where these crates are. So it's the waiting game, trying to figure out where these crates are. I came back to my truck because I left my phone in here. So I called the broker, to let her know that I was here, but there's some trouble with, finding the crates, and I would let her know when I was loaded. So I figured I'd go ahead and start a little video or whatever, and let you guys know what I'm up to. So we are going to go back in here and see what they found out. It's been maybe 5 or 10 minutes. We're going to go back in here, see if they found anything out, so that hopefully I can hurry up and get loaded and get out of Baltimore, because I'd like to at least drop my load in Mechanicsburg and have time to get my truck washed, because my truck is absolutely filthy and I can't stand it no more. I've been running like this for about a week, being this dirty, and I can't stand it. I don't know how some of you guys are when it comes to your trucks and everything like that, but I look at my vehicle as a part of my business, or a part of my business attire. If you was going to a business meeting, you wouldn't be wearing, or at least I hope not, you wouldn't be wearing holey jeans and oil stained shirts and stuff like that. So I look at my truck being part of my business as far as the aesthetics go. When people look at you and see you pulled up in a nice clean truck, nice equipment, stuff ain't falling off and hanging off and stuff like that, it puts in their mind, that this guy knows what he's doing. This is a legit carrier. So I can't stand having a dirty vehicle. So I think they're calling for some snow tonight, but I don't care. I still got to get this thing washed, and if it snows tonight, I'll deal with it another day. But as far as right now, I need this thing washed today. And there's a truck wash on my way home from Mechanicsburg. So I'd like to get this load dropped and have time to go get it washed. So we're going to walk back in here, see what they got going on. Hopefully they give me some good news, and I'll be back with y'all for the load up. All right, everybody. So we finally got out of the port here, and sat there for about 4 hours, and they finally found one crate, but one crate only. So this is all I got. It's like 600 pounds. Kind of sucked because I was planning on getting both of those crates because they both had separate rates. So that kind of sucked a little bit, but ain't nothing I can do about it, so I was there, still ran this one right here. So it was easy, good fuel mileage, all that good stuff. I mean, all in all, it was still a good rate. It was a dedicated rate. They paid me for the whole trailer, so it's not like I was getting a partial rate for this and was trying to parcel two loads and then only get one, and stuck with the partial, with the partial rate. They still, had a pretty good rate. So can't complain there. Yes, this guy here is a little impatient trying to unload me. I mean, shit, can't even get my straps off. All right, and just like that, we're empty. Straps are put away. Now he's got to go in, see if I can scrape some of the mud off my boot before I get in the truck. He's got to go in and make a copy of that bill of lading, because the port took both of my copies. I had 3 copies, they took 2 of them, so I only have 1 left. And once he comes back with that, we'll get out of here, see if we can get some fuel and see if we can find another load. So I'll get back with y'all. All right, guys, we made it back to the yard. After I dropped that load off in Mechanicsburg, I stopped and got some fuel. And when I was leaving, I noticed that the whole left side of my trailer, all the marker lights were out. So I wanted to get back home to figure that out before it got dark outside and started snowing or whatever it's supposed to be doing. So I didn't get to get my truck washed. But what do? I can't ride around with no marker lights on the left side of my trailer. I'm sure Mr. DOT man would love me to do it, but I'm not going to be an easy target. So got home. It was just a broken wire. It like came out the butt connector or whatever. So got that fixed. Now the lights are working. Still have no load for tomorrow yet. Probably won't get one today. It'll probably be sometime in the morning if I get one at all. My customers seem to be kind of slow, which they're normally kind of slow when they don't really know what the weather's going to do, especially, going up into Pennsylvania and stuff like that. Lord knows I don't want to get another deal like I had the other week, being stuck with the load for 4 days. So we'll see what the snow does tonight, and we'll get up early in the morning and start figuring some things out. But there's some loads on the load board and stuff. Since my customers aren't calling me, I go ahead and look on the load board, and I use Truck Stop and DAT. I look at both of those, and there's a couple loads on the board, but the rates were absolutely garbage. I mean, garbage. I hope nobody's taking those loads for those rates, no matter how bad it is. Whether you think it's a backhaul or a partial or whatever. I mean, some of those rates that I saw on there wouldn't even be worth anybody's time, at least in my opinion. There's no way that I'm putting something on my trailer going, 300 miles for $250. I don't care how small it is. It's just not going to happen. like I said, or like I said in one of my very first videos, you got to know your worth. And I'm pretty sure if you're in this business, you're worth more than 250 bucks. I mean, come on, even if it's just fuel money, that's just, it's like a slap in the face, to me, at least in my opinion. It's like a slap in the face that a broker has the audacity to put a load up there for 150 or $200. What good is that doing? If you take that load and you blow a tire, that's not even going to pay for the tire half the time. So don't be out there taking cheap rates, because somebody will end up taking it. And then the next time that load comes up, they're going to say, well, somebody took it before, so let's see if we can get this same rate on it, or try even lower rate and see if somebody will move it for that. I understand supply and demand. That's one thing you got to understand when you're in this business. And, in the wintertime, at least with flatbed, everything slows down. Flatbed is primarily construction based. So construction slows down, in the wintertime. So there's not a lot of building materials moving and things like that. So there's less loads and more trucks. So I understand that part of the supply and demand. But at what point do we start saying, we don't care how low the supply is or how high the supply is, we want the same amount of money? Just because it's wintertime, fuel ain't no cheaper. It might fluctuate a little bit, but it ain't that much cheaper. Insurance don't get cheaper just because it's the wintertime. I mean, I understand I probably sound like a broken record, but I can't stress it enough. You can't take this cheap freight, because all it's doing is just getting these brokers thinking that they can run this cheap freight all the time. And so they're not going to raise and I don't blame them. Why raise the rate up to move something if somebody's constantly taking it for a lower rate? So just keep that in mind, guys. I can't stress it enough. Know your worth out here, and don't settle. Don't settle for these cheap rates. You don't have to. Tell a broker what you want, and if he don't like it, so be it. Tell him, have a nice day, because I guarantee you, a lot of times when you tell them, all right, I don't want it, they'll call you back, because they need somebody to move that load. Just as bad as you want to take that load, they need somebody to move that load. Keep that in mind. So I'm gonna go ahead and head out of here, see what I can find on the board tonight, or maybe in the morning. So I hope everybody has a good day. If you are traveling out, in the snow that's supposed to be coming in the Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania area tonight into tomorrow, you guys be safe out on the road. And as always, stay prayed up, grind hard, and stay humble.